Greetings, one and all, to the most cursed, most cringiest corner of the internet. A YouTube channel content creator actively alienating everyone in both the analog and digital world. Well, welcome and good evening, you wonderful dice of all alignments. I am Lunar D8. This is a game by the Pen Sword. We still aren't caught up into the new content, but we're getting really close until the game will be blind again at some point. Not yet. The cookies got burnt. Good luck up there, Asheville, Mr. Long and Tall. Bro, I don't even know who you are. So how the hell do you know I'm going to Asheville? Andy was kind of obnoxious about it back at the park, but maybe this is something I should take care of sooner rather than later. I cross the threshold of her porch and press down on the glossy ivory doorbell. I'll be right there. A powerful tone rings out behind the door, followed shortly by Judith's familiar comforting voice. At first, the door opens a crack. I don't know if there is a main significance to that little picture back there, or to the 555 address. Is that going to be sixes later? The dawn is your enemy. It is only after she sees me that it's on me on her porch, and not some stranger, that Judith feels comfortable enough to put herself in the doorway. You came. Oh my gosh, you really came. Hi, Judith. Judith's display of genuine appreciation and joy makes me pause for a bit. I'm a little embarrassed that I can't think of a meaningful way to follow her up. So, I just kind of wave my hands back and forth and smile, as if to say, yes, I'm here. It is, in fact, me. I'm sorry I'm socially awkward and easily embarrassed and super shy and introverted. I'm trying. As lame as my greeting is, the jazz hands alone are enough to elicit a giggle at least. Hee, what was that? Just me saying hello, I think. Hello, Judith. Do you want to hang out for a bit? I'm not interrupting anything, am I? No, not at all. I mean, no, you're not interrupting anything. Again, I feel like very relatable with this. Like, I feel like this is what I looked like when I was 18, and this is how I talk and act. Heck, just his general demeanor and the way facial reactions, the hands thing. I feel a little called out, but okay. At least I get to play a game about myself. Well, that's not entirely true, I suppose. Wait right there. I have the oven on. Just give me a minute. Okay, will do. Judith runs back into the house, careful not to slam the door behind her. Don't come in yet, please. I mean it. Don't come in. Just a little bit longer. Sorry about that. We're good now. She steps back from the doorway and bows, leading my gaze inward with a flick of her wrist. Come in and sit down, good sir. I'll make us something to drink. Thank you, madame. I do believe I shall. I pull up the edges of my t-shirt and curtsy before making my way into the house. Did you guys see the slight frumpy face? Judah's house, our base of operations, is as hospitable as ever. At this point, Andy probably would have stormed the front door or screamed something at me from her bedroom, so Judith and I are likely the only ones here. I take a seat in the living room while Judith half skips, half runs into the kitchen. After a deep breath, I noticed something pleasant, accenting the otherwise crisp neutral air. You said the oven was on, right? By any chance, were you baking something vanilla-ish? It's a surprise, Mr. Nosy Nose. You'll find out soon enough. Don't worry. Is sweet tea good to drink? We still have some left over from last time. That sounds lovely. Do you mind shaking it up a little bit before you pour, though? Sometimes junk sinks to the bottom if it sits around for too long. No problem. I'll pour you the rest and then we can chat for a bit. Judith, unsurprisingly, is as agreeable as ever. The way she waits on me makes me hate myself a little, but not enough to deny her kindness. Despite the pleasantries, or perhaps because of them, a sticky sweet guilt begins to bloom up in the pit of my stomach. But this, of course, is perfectly normal for us. Judith places a rather large cup of sweet tea on the coffee table and sits next to me. She opens a can of flavorless seltzer and drinks a sizable amount of it before turning her attention my way. So where's Violet? I was expecting you two to be inseparable for most of the day. Honestly, she's probably still at the beach. She said she'd meet back up with me later to help pack, though. So don't worry about it. I see. So you're satisfied with spending such a small amount of time with her? To shame, Oliver. I thought you'd end up being more devoted to your beloved. Her and I aren't too worried about running out of time together, if that's what you're getting at. Really? Is she going to college with you then? Nope. Dating long distance until she moves to Asheville at the end of the year? Negative. Eloping with you in the Caribbean without me knowing, under the cover of night. Good Lord, Judith. Wait, really? Nothing then? Wow, so today's really it, huh? You two have quite the unorthodox relationship. I mean, not really. Hey, Judith. Why are we talking about this? I know you're still kind of mad at her, but why is Violet the first thing you want to talk about? Right now, shouldn't we be talking about pretty much anything else? No, you see, that's the fascinating part. You're so much worried about our time together being valuable, even though Violet and I have the same pool of hours to pull from. It's too strange for me not to focus on. I don't understand why you're making me such a priority now. What are you talking about? Of course you'd be a priority, Judith. You've been my best friend since I was like 7. And I'm not going to see you for a while. There's no way you wouldn't be a priority. Judith puts down her beverage and moves a little bit closer to me. But, you see, that's exactly why I didn't ask you to come over today, Oliver. I knew everybody else was going to pressure you and to hang out with them. When in reality, all you probably wanted to do was spend as much time with your lover as humanly possible. It was supposed to be a kindness. My final gift to you as your friend was going to be me letting you be for the day. It would make sense for things to end this way, wouldn't it? Violet should be the center of your world, the object of your affection. I didn't want to be selfish, so I decided not to make myself a priority. After all, I wasn't the one who ended up winning your love. Is this what I think it is? Oh no. When you showed up at my door today, Judith wraps her arms around mine and pulls herself closer to me. It became painfully obvious that you really do care about me an awful lot. I know you always have in your own way. But it's only now, after being prioritized so highly. It's only just now that I began to think. She pulls in even tighter and turns her face, so it's only inches away from mine. Maybe you view me as more than just a friend? Judith? None of what you've been saying makes any sense. Judith lets go of my arm and stares at me. Oliver? That's a pretty rotten thing to say. That's okay. I can live with that. But me being rotten doesn't change how bizarre this entire situation is. You're confessing to me, I get it. That's kind of a big deal. But why on earth would Judith, the woman so dead set on doing the sweetest possible thing in any given situation, why would that person be trying to get me to cheat on my girlfriend the day before I leave town? Because I love you? I mean, you and Violet are breaking up anyway, so what does it matter? See? That's what I'm talking about. Judith isn't somebody who would think like that. She's known me for long enough to know that's something I would never even consider doing in the first place. So who are you trying to appeal to by acting like this? Who exactly are you trying to impress? I'm not some spineless protagonist in a low-budget hentai. I'm not going to set my relationship with Violet on fire just because you grab my arm and stuff. Hentai? Judy, you cosplay. You know what hentai is. Maybe it's wrong of me to conflate this image I have of you with how you're actually behaving right now. Maybe I should just shut up and accept your feelings as some sort of definitive truth. But everything about this just seems really, really out of character. I know you're mad at Violet, but you aren't mad enough to get me to cheat on her, right? I ended there, doing my best to put the ball in Judith's court. But Judith doesn't say anything. Oh my god. No way. There's no way you're that bitter. Jesus, Judy, really? Is that really what this is? Even after my taunts, Judith doesn't say anything. She simply stares at me, the light fading from her normally vibrant eyes. Judith! Judith? Hello? Is there a reason you're trying to wrap me up in all this? Speak now or forever hold your... You're the one acting out of character, Oliver. Judith's voice, normally so sweet and comforting, is laced with something that paralyzes me to my core. Why are you suddenly so sloppy and imprecise with your words now? Up until today, you were always so careful with the things you said to me. I could feel your deliberation, like a gentle hand placed firmly on the back of my neck, pushing me downward closer to you with each perfect, flawless word. After a certain amount of time, your will was so strong that I could feel my own desires being supplanted with a singular, overwhelming desire to please you. It was strange at first, simply being in your presence, having my will erode like that, but I didn't really mind. I was eager to give you my time, my body, my future, anything you wanted to cultivate the person you were ultimately meant to become. It didn't matter what I was doing before. If you wanted to spend time with me, then that's what we were doing. Everything I did was in service of you. Everything was in service of strengthening our bond. And then I lost to Violet, naturally inhibiting the amount of support I could provide you. But again, I didn't mind. Not really. I was content to be your childhood friend, and nothing more. After all, Violet is the one you wanted to fuck. Emil, Ash, and Andy never even had the chance to be an object of your affection like that. So compared to them, I had it great. There was no point in ever feeling sorry for myself. But now, that gentle pressure in your words is gone. And if that's gone, then so is my patience. So yes, it might be out of character for me to act like such a homewrecker, but you're acting out of character too. So that changes things a bit, don't you think? If you're not acting how you should, then why should I? Why should any of us? If I have one last opportunity to give you everything you want, then why shouldn't I take it? I don't want you to act like this, Judith.